There is a award show coming up this Wednesday night. It's happening live from Los Angeles, and it's all about the world of unscripted television.
Got some of the biggest stars out here. We're giving away awards. Tonight's our night for reality TV.
Our host for the 2014 Reality TV Awards, Matt Eisman.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Reality One TV Awards.
And the winner is... And the winner is... And the winner is...
Thank you. Best villain? Hey, I'll take that.
I am so excited. This is heavy. I think it's heavier than an Oscar.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I'm absolutely thrilled and honored to receive this award.
I'm excited to be here. I've never been to anything like this in my entire life. And it's just wonderful to be a part of this industry and just to really celebrate us being us.
This is great. We hope this becomes a trend. And this is bigger, better, so let's keep it going.
The best thing about the Reality Awards is that it doesn't make any apologies. It says, hey, we make reality TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, direct your attention. We've got pizza!
And the winner is...
The winner is...
And the winner is...
Blake Shelton from The Voice.
MasterChef!
The deadliest cat.
I was at the very first Reality Wanted Awards last year. That was awesome, but this is even awesomer.
This is like our Oscars.
I think Reality Wanted does an incredible job about really acknowledging reality TV. The Emmys, it's always been kind of a sideshow, a periphery, and I think reality TV's coming into the mainstream, and the Reality Wanted Awards are really bringing it there.
I think one of the highlights was Omarosa came backstage just to shake my hand to say, good job. If you ever need anything, let me know. It's just one of those moments that I'm like, I'm never gonna forget that.
We're excited for next year. We obviously over capacity this year. We need to go bigger. And we had some huge names show up this year, some huge media, so we're very excited.
We've talked to some producers who thanked us and said, you know what, we don't get these awards, and this has legs. Let's go, let's move, let's grow.
The last people that you heard or saw are our guests right now. Joining us live from Los Angeles, the organizers and the executive producers of the Reality TV Awards, Kristen Moss and Andrew Ward. Kristen, Andrew, welcome in.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Kristen, we'll start with you. First of all, what's your early reaction to what NBC announced today, which is we're doing more live series programming and a lot of it will be unscripted?
You know, we love that. I mean, at the end of the day, our goal is to really get ourselves televised. So selfishly, that kind of puts us into the position of saying, all right, maybe that could even be a home for us eventually in the future. And, you know, honestly, it just proves that reality television can continue to create, we can continue to make brand new original programming, just like scripted has done forever, you know. So we're excited to see the new formats that they're going to be coming out with, and we're excited to award those teams that are putting this together.
Andrew, what NBC is going to do with this Neil Patrick Harris show is really fascinating. It's going to be on Tuesday night at 10 o'clock. Very good time period. Neil Patrick Harris starring, live in New York. A lot of audience participation, games, musical numbers. But NBC is only giving it 2 months to make it go, and then they're saying in November they'll bring back Chicago Fire.
Yeah, I mean, Neil Patrick Harris is always, he's a big fan of reality himself, so someday we'd love for him to host our show. I think this is great. I mean, I think 2 months is enough time to hopefully kind of get a little test market out there and see if this market's right for it. But we're excited for him and glad that he loves reality as much as we do.
Kristen, one show that wasn't announced, but it was announced last week, is that Dick Wolf, the creator of Law & Order, is going to try this live Judge Judy kind of show, a courtroom program called You the Jury, which is going to allow the audience to actually determine the kind of civil cases that a Judge Judy, a Judge Mathis, a people's court would do. What do you think about that concept?
You know, I mean, having the public determine things is usually pretty indicative of who should be winning or what judgment should be made. I mean, you know, our awards go with a public vote. That's who determines the winners. And we're more than happy to have the public make those determinations. And so having a live judge show and having the public determine the verdict, I think, is genius. I mean, I think the public does have a good sense of justice, and I think they have a good sense of, you know, who is deserving of winning, and that's how our awards actually go. So,
Andrew, how did you and Kristen decide that unscripted television deserved its own award show? Because certainly you have daytime Emmys, which recognize unscripted. The primetime Emmys do to some extent. The sports Emmys certainly do. News and documentaries in terms of their kind of television. Why do you think that this form deserves its own special award?
You know, people have talked about this for years. We've been in the industry for years ourselves, and something like MasterChef I worked on, there's 150 crew members on that show every day, but there's nothing out there to recognize them. So we wanted to give back to the industry. We want to recognize people in front of the camera as well as behind the camera, and there was just a hole that needed to be filled. So we're very excited that we were able to put this together because it was just, there was no recognition before.
Kristen, how long has this award ceremony been going on, and how easy or hard was it to get the production companies largely doing unscripted behind you, get on board?
So this is our third annual. In 2012, we actually started planning for the first annual, which ended up in 2013, and we gave, you know, recognition to the 2012 shows. And we just, you know, Andrew and I both work in reality television. We've both worked for a lot of the production companies that are out here in LA, and actually New York as well. So we just called them up, and we just, you know, called them up and we said, this is what's happening. Here's the categories. Submit your shows into these categories and send us over who you think should be nominated. And, you know, we got all the submissions in, and then we were able to take those submissions and narrow them down through our little academy group, which is We Work in Reality TV. Anyone who works in reality television is able to register with us and get that initial ballot. That initial ballot narrows down the submissions to the official nominees that will be going out to the public.
We're speaking with Kristen Moss and Andrew Ward. They're the organizers and the executive producers of the third annual Reality TV Awards. They will happen this Wednesday night live from Los Angeles, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And they're with us this half hour on Tomorrow Will Be Televised. Simon Applebaum here with you live from the studios of Brooklyn Independent Media, the Barclays Center in New York. Happy to have you aboard on this Monday afternoon, the day after Mother's Day. Happy MD afterward, Mom, and all you moms out there. And we invite you to be part of the program. Give us a ring. Here's that number, 646-652-2906. Or use our chat room, Simon Apple 04 by name. Our guest, Rick Webb from Philadelphia, who regularly makes a contribution hereabouts. He is already in the room. This coming Memorial Day night, History Channel is going to try to make history for the second time. 3 years ago, they did their most ambitious miniseries ever, Hatfield and McCoy's, and ended up being one of the most talked about shows in cable and TV history, winning several Emmy Awards and other awards in the process. Now, this coming Memorial Day night, 2 weeks from tonight, they're going to be back at it again with a 10-hour miniseries called Texas Rising, all-star cast involved. Friday on Tomorrow Will Be Televised, my lead guest will be the executive producer of that venture and the head of the production company doing it, Think Factory Media, Leslie Greif. And in an exclusive interview, you'll find it only here, Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, on Tomorrow Will Be Televised. And speaking of unscripted television, next Monday, we will have one of the rich kids of E's Rich Kids of Beverly Hills, Roxy Sawalti. That show is coming back later this month on E. We'll not only have her live, we'll also have one of her producers live. That's coming up 1 week from today, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, simulcast on Blog Talk Radio and Brooklyn Independent Media. Kirsten, how many categories does your award show have, and how are they broken down?
We have 21 categories. We give props to several different departments throughout reality television. So, you know, we have a best editing category. We have a badass crew category, you know, for the crew members who literally have to put themselves through some sort of hell at some point, you know, whether it's being in Alaska or out in the jungle or wherever it is. We have cast categories. We have Reality King and Queen. We have Best Villain. We have Host. We have Best Judging Panel. But we also have Most Creative Challenge. We have Most Heartfelt Moment, Most Shocking Moment. We have, you know, Best New Show, Most Unique Concept that gives props to the development department. So, you know, from all angles, we're able to award these different departments within the industry.
Andrew, how many nominees in the category?
Each category has 6 to 7. Sometimes if it was really close, we just throw in that 7th category. And the great thing is when we were voting this year, the public vote, we had over 1 million votes this year. And at points, there was one point where one was separated by 2 votes. So some of the races this year are very tight.
Kristen, how was the public able to vote for their faves?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yes, how was the public able to vote for their favorites? How could they get involved?
Sure. At our website, they were able to vote. The voting actually ended April 30th. So everything's been tallied, everything's calculated. The nameplates are on their way to be printed. So at this point, they can watch the winners being announced the night of, obviously, Wednesday, May 13th, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific at our website, realitytelevisionawards.com. And that's also where they went to vote. So realitytelevisionawards.com has all the information. It's going to have all the photos and the videos up, and it's also going to be where you can watch it live streamed.
I want to welcome, by the way, guest 1327 into our chat room. Andrew, who are some of the past winners the last 2 years?
We had Lisa Vanderpump won Reality Queen last year. We had Abby Lee Miller for Villain. They both are back up vying to keep their titles. Deadliest Catch, The Voice, they were big winners last year. So a lot of variety in there. And this year, we're starting our first ever Hall of Fame, and we're Heidi and Spencer Pratt will be the first inductees.
Kirsten, is there any categories for the type of reality competition show like Dancing with the Stars, So You Think You Can Dance, American Idol, etc.?
Yeah, we actually have a best competition show. We have best competition show and also best docuseries, so it does prove that there are kind of different sorts of reality shows. So in competition show, we have American Ninja Warrior, Amazing Race, Hell's Kitchen, MasterChef Junior, RuPaul's Drag Race, Top Chef, and Big Brother. They're all vying for that best competition show of the year.
Mm-hmm. And Andrew, what about the growing boom of lifestyle programming, the kind of shows you would find on networks like Food Network, Cooking Channel, FYI, etc.? How many categories do you devote to the lifestyle type of shows, and who are some of the nominees there?
Yeah, right now those shows are booming extremely fast. Right now we don't have specific categories dedicated to them, so they're kind of sprinkled in everywhere. But, you know, each year we love hearing from fans, and as shows grow, and that might be another category that we add.
Kristen, your show is presented exclusively online. And I want to get to a little bit why that is and what kind of effort has been made to get this on television. But I want to mention the online because last year the Daytime Emmy Awards were forced for the first time ever to go online after so many years on network television and the last few years on HLN, and it turned out to be a fiasco by every standard. There were interviews done on the red carpet with people who seemed to have no sense of daytime television. Some embarrassing things were said. The ceremony itself was a fiasco. What effort is made in terms of, you know, honoring unscripted television and making the ceremony one that we can all watch and not be embarrassed about?
Sure. And you know what? I mean, I think the fun part about reality television is that if something crazy happens, we want that to happen. I mean, you know, the people who are going to be attending the awards this year, they are not by any means, you know, scripted actors. They're not doing anything that has anything to do, you know, they're not trying to, you know, prove that they are, you know, wearing this perfect gown and they're, you know, walking with elegance on the red carpet. We want those moments to happen. That's what's going to make our show different. So when you tune in and when you're watching the live stream, look out for those fun, odd, off-the-cuff things that happen, because that's what's going to make our show different and more interesting and more fun to watch than something else. I mean, we're not trying to stay within the cookie-cutter mold here. We want those moments to happen, and we want them to happen organically. And we believe that the cast members were chosen to be put on these shows for a reason, and just put them together in one room and just let's see the fireworks happen.
Andrew, who's hosting your show, and how much prep are the host or hostesses getting in terms of knowing, how to interview the nominees, how to, get into get the reactions after they win?
Sure, yeah. Our host is Jonathan Bennett. You may know him from Mean Girls. Aaron Samuels on Mean Girls, or he was on Dancing with the Stars last year. So we have a team of writers, actually, we're meeting with tonight with Jonathan as well, and we've been meeting over the past few weeks to kind of make sure that he knows exactly who's attending and who to poke fun at and in the most fun kind of light. In terms of red carpet host, Candace Smith from Millionaire Matchmaker is hosting the red carpet. So we have sent her our list of over 150 reality stars that are attending, so she is doing her homework as we speak.
2015 Reality TV Awards. They're coming your way live from Los Angeles online at www.realitytelevisionawards.com. It's Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Kristen Moss, Andrew Ward, the executive producer and the organizers of this ceremony. They're with us live this half hour on Tomorrow We Televised. Simon Applebaum here with you live from New York at the studios of Brooklyn Independent Media near the Barclays Center. We have a few more minutes with Kristen and Andrew, so get involved. How you do it? You ring in 646-652-2906 or use our chat room, Simon Apple 04 by name. Again, coming up Monday on Tomorrow We Televised, the rich kids of Beverly Hills are coming back. We got one of the rich kids live with us, Roxy Sawalty, and that's not all. We'll have one of her producers on the program. That's next Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, live from Nueva York, right here on Tomorrow Will Be Televised. Andrew, what efforts have there been to get the show on television?
Yes, being in our year 3, we're trying to grow, and actually we have been talking with several production companies, and they're interested. And we almost went on TV this year, but legal paperwork takes a long time. So we thought live broadcast is the best way to do it, and it's going to be multi-camera. We're going to even have 2 drones outside on the red carpet. So what you're seeing online is not just a simple live stream. It's going to be very multi-cam, backstage, really cool kind of experience for everyone.
Andrew, did you say true drones are going to be involved in the camera work?
Yes, yeah, we have 2 drones that we're flying above the red carpet. So you're going to see the Hollywood sign. We have a very, very special arrival from the Deadliest Catch that will be a very big surprise, and that will also be captured on the drone.
Kristen, was there a new unscripted show that premiered in, let's say, the last 12 months that made a big splash in terms of getting nominations?
Dating Naked was a really big one. It was, super interesting to watch. I think some people either loved it or hated it. I found it absolutely hysterical, not only just the concept of putting people naked on a date, but then some of the dates that they put them on were just laughable. So I think that was really great. But Wahlburgers was huge. Obviously, Donnie and Mark Wahlberg are big names, and they have been for, my entire childhood. So that was a big one. And Married at First Sight, again, was another one that people really gravitated towards. I think it was that shocking factor of saying, are you really going to put 2 people together and have them get married? But once they did, and once they had them get married, and they watched as it unfolded, it became a phenomenon, and it's been an incredible journey to see these new shows really pick up steam.
And Andrew, which network led the field in terms of total nominations?
The network, let me see. Oh my gosh. Let's see, A&E had 12 nominations. So, NBC, though, 16, and Fox with 19. So Fox kind of peaked it out there, and Bravo is right up there with them.
Kristen, is there a new show that's premiered after the nomination period, let's say in the last few months, that you see being a major nomination getter next year?
Well, we've been doing a lot of planning, so I haven't been watching much television, but let's see. Have there been... Well, John, our talent producer, is actually here right now, and he's the one who really has a big, he deals with all the talent. He knows all the shows. He's the biggest one. Maybe he can answer that question. Are there any major shows that have premiered this year that you think could be big for next year?
Wow. All right. That's a pretty good question. Any shows that started this year that could be really big for next year? There's shows in development all the time. There's a couple for E! that are coming out, one having to do with a cycling club in LA where you kind of sweat, lose weight, and there's a lot of wacky people in that place. So that's what they call Hollywood Cycle, which I think premieres in July on E! He continues with the rich kids of Beverly Hills. Also, keep in mind that Bruce Jenner, going through his transition, has a 6-episode series coming up, I believe, also with E! That starts in July. I mean, the reality landscape right now is super saturated with cooking shows and modeling shows, but I would almost predict that someone out there in reality land, someone in a production office right now, or someone in a development meeting is trying to marry cooking with modeling. Then at some point, you're going to be cooking stuff and walking a runway trying to show the judges what to eat and what you're wearing while you're eating it. So, I mean, the possibilities are endless, but that's just some of the things that are coming in the next year.
Jonathan, thank you for getting on.
And we hope to continue to celebrate all of them in 2016.
And Andrew, before we let you and Kristen go, Jonathan mentioned the situation with programming aimed at the transgender community. Of course, we have the show on Discovery Life channel. We've got coming up ABC Family Show Becoming Us with Ryan Seacrest. What do you think about this new avenue of unscripted, which is showcasing a segment of society that is hoping that, maybe if these shows are on the air, people will come to understand us and accept us, and maybe not accept how we live, but at least accept that we're on planet Earth?
Yeah, I think it's a great transition. I think the timing is right. It's especially with that Amazon series as well with Jeffrey Tambor. It's showing that, you know what, everyone's a person. We're all human. Let's all get along. We're all the same on the inside. And I think it's a great movement, and the timing is right.
The 2015 Reality TV Awards will happen live from Los Angeles Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. You can watch them live and learn more about the nominees beforehand at www.realitytelevisionawards.com. That's www.realitytelevisionawards.com. Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Kristen Moss, Andrew Ward, executive producers of the program, thanks again for joining us. Good luck 48 hours from now with the awards, and hopefully maybe next year we get to see you televised.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, keep that hope alive. We got to get there.
You're welcome, Kristen. Andrew, take care. All the greatest.
All right. Have a good one. Thanks, Simon.
Kristen Moss, Andrew Ward, joining us live from Los Angeles.